Have you ever felt like you're living in two worlds at once? Like there's a hidden reality slowly revealing itself to you, but you can't quite put it into words? What if I told you that these strange experiences you've been having aren't random at all? They're actually signs of something profound happening within you. We've all heard about the common signs of spiritual awakening: seeing number sequences, experiencing synchronicities, or feeling more connected to nature. But today we're going deeper. We're exploring 7 lesser-known signs that nobody talks about, signs that might make you question everything you thought you knew about your spiritual journey. These are the subtle shifts happening beneath the surface that most spiritual teachers never mention. Yet they're often the most powerful indicators that you're undergoing a profound transformation. Here's the thing. Many people going through a spiritual awakening feel completely lost and confused. They're experiencing things that don't fit into the neat little boxes of traditional spiritual teachings. They wonder if they're going crazy, or if something's wrong with them. Why? Because mainstream spirituality often focuses on the feel-good aspects of awakening while ignoring the messy, confusing, and sometimes uncomfortable reality of what it truly means to wake up. The real problem isn't that you're doing something wrong. It's that you've been looking for the wrong signs all along. Let's change that today. The 7 unexpected signs. 1. The mundane becomes mysterious. The first sign is perhaps the strangest. You start finding profound meaning in the most ordinary things. It's not just about seeing beauty in a sunset anymore. You might find yourself staring at your hands, completely amazed by how they work. Or you might spend minutes watching water flow from a tap, suddenly aware of the miracle of its existence. This isn't random. What's actually happening is that your consciousness is expanding beyond the program filters we've all been conditioned with. Think of it like watching a movie in black and white your whole life, and suddenly experiencing color for the first time. Everything looks different, even though nothing has actually changed. Let me share something that happened to me recently. I was doing something as simple as washing dishes when suddenly, I became intensely aware of the water's temperature on my hands, the rainbow patterns in the soap bubbles, and the simple miracle of having clean water at all. In that moment, this mundane chore became a profound meditation on existence itself. This heightened awareness of the ordinary is actually your consciousness breaking free from the matrix of everyday perception. You're beginning to see reality as it truly is: miraculous, interconnected, and alive with meaning. 2. Your relationship with time changes. The second sign is subtle but significant. Your perception of time starts to shift in strange ways. You might find yourself losing track of time completely, or experiencing moments that seem to stretch into eternity. Some days might feel like they pass in the blink of an eye, while a single minute of meditation might feel like hours. This isn't just your mind wandering. What's really happening is that you're beginning to experience time as it truly exists, not as a linear progression, but as an eternal now. Ancient spiritual traditions have always taught that time is an illusion, but you're starting to experience this truth firsthand. Think of it like this. Imagine you're watching a movie. Normally, you're caught up in the story, following it scene by scene. But now, you're becoming aware that all scenes exist simultaneously on the film reel. You're starting to see beyond the illusion of sequential time into a deeper reality where all moments exist at once. This shift in temporal perception often comes with a decreased attachment to schedules and an increased trust in divine timing. You might find yourself naturally flowing with life's rhythms rather than constantly fighting against the clock. 3. Physical reality becomes more fluid. The third sign is perhaps the most unsettling. Your experience of physical reality might begin to feel less solid and more dreamlike. Objects might seem to shimmer or appear slightly different than you remember. Spaces might feel larger or smaller than usual, and distances might seem to shift. This isn't a cause for concern. It's actually a sign that you're beginning to perceive the quantum nature of reality. Modern physics tells us that solid matter is mostly empty space, and that particles exist in multiple states simultaneously. Your awakening consciousness is starting to perceive this deeper truth. The ancient Vedic tradition calls this world, Maya, or illusion, not because it isn't real, but because it isn't as solid and unchangeable as we've been led to believe. You're starting to see through the veil of material reality into its more fluid, energetic nature. 4. Unexpected emotional archaeology. The fourth sign is deeply personal. You begin experiencing seemingly random emotional releases. You might find yourself crying while doing laundry, feeling intense anger during meditation, or experiencing sudden joy for no apparent reason. What's really happening here is spiritual archaeology. As your consciousness expands, it begins to unearth old emotional patterns and trauma that have been buried in your energetic body. These aren't just your personal emotions. You might be processing collective trauma or even ancestral pain. This process is similar to cleaning out an old house. As you open windows and let in fresh air, you discover dust in corners you didn't even know existed. Each emotional release is clearing space for more light, more awareness, more consciousness to enter. 5. Your dreams become teaching ground. The fifth sign appears in your sleep. Your dreams become increasingly vivid, meaningful, and interactive. But it's not just about prophetic dreams or visiting other dimensions. You might start receiving practical guidance about your daily life, healing instructions, or even spiritual teachings while you sleep. What's fascinating is that you might begin to recognize that your dreams are actually experiences in other realms of consciousness. You might start remembering ancient wisdom, connecting with spiritual guides, or accessing knowledge that you don't remember learning in this lifetime. This is happening because the veil between different states of consciousness is thinning. The artificial boundary between waking and dreaming states begins to dissolve, allowing for a more fluid exchange of information between different levels of awareness. 6. Spontaneous understanding. The sixth sign is particularly remarkable. You start having moments of spontaneous understanding about complex spiritual concepts. It's as if knowledge is being downloaded directly into your consciousness. You might suddenly understand the true meaning of teachings you've read about for years, or receive insights about the nature of reality that you've never even considered before. This isn't about intellectual understanding. It's direct knowing. You're not learning new information. You're remembering wisdom that your soul has always known. This is what many spiritual traditions call gnosis, or direct spiritual knowledge. Think of it like this. Imagine you've been studying a language for years, struggling with grammar and vocabulary. Then one day, you suddenly find yourself thinking in that language naturally, without translation. That's what's happening on a spiritual level. You're beginning to think in the language of the universe. 7. The ordinary world feels different. The final sign is perhaps the most profound. Your entire relationship with the world shifts. Things that once seemed important might lose their appeal entirely. Career goals, social status, material possessions. While you might still engage with these things, they no longer hold the same power over you. At the same time, simple things become incredibly precious. A conversation with a stranger might feel deeply meaningful. The sound of rain might bring you to tears. You might find yourself feeling overwhelming gratitude for things you used to take for granted. This isn't about becoming detached or disconnected from the world. Instead, you're developing what Buddhist traditions call engaged non-attachment, being fully present and involved in life while maintaining an awareness of its ultimately temporary nature. Here's the profound truth that ties all these signs together. What you're experiencing isn't just a phase or a temporary shift in perception. You're witnessing the gradual dissolution of the illusion of separation. Every unusual experience, every moment of confusion or clarity, is actually bringing you closer to understanding your true nature. As the ancient Upanishads teach us, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. The consciousness that permeates all of existence is not separate from you. These signs aren't just symptoms of spiritual awakening. They're glimpses of your true nature breaking through the veil of conditional existence. If you've been experiencing any of these signs, know that you're not alone, and you're not losing your mind. You're actually finding your true self, This journey of awakening isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who you've always been. Remember, spiritual awakening isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process of expansion and integration. Some days you'll feel completely aligned with these deeper truths, and other days you might feel totally lost. And that's perfectly normal. The key is to remain gentle with yourself as you navigate these changes. Trust that each experience, whether comfortable or challenging, is helping you shed the layers of conditioning that have kept you from recognizing your true nature. If this resonates with you, join our growing community of awakening souls by subscribing to this channel. Together, we'll explore the depths of consciousness and the mysteries of existence. Hit that subscribe button and start your journey into higher awareness today.